Hey, welcome to the TMZ podcast. I'm Branson Quirk.
And I'm Kay McCabe.
Welcome back, Kay.
Hi, it's glad to be back. It's been a minute.
It's always hard getting you on because when I walk over to her desk, she's like, I can't today.
I'm a busy woman.
Yeah, I mean, she works in social media.
I'm the social media manager.
Sorry, I meant to say manager. Sorry. Which means that she always has to be listening to Harvey.
Yeah.
To the new stories going out, which is all day long.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
All day.
And I run the X page. So a lot of stories, a lot of DC clips, that's like the home for that. So I'm, cutting those and making the captions, headlines, and all that good stuff.
Yeah.
So
a lot of followers to report to on there.
Almost 9 million.
Jeez.
Yeah. I know.
Jeez.
I'm proud of it. If there wasn't that social media followers purge, we would have been surpassed 9 million by now.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
That's right. Well, before we get into the biggest story, arguably, of the past couple days, other than Taylor Swift, to be honest with you.
Sure.
We do want to try and talk about that, and we'll try to get to that because we have some exclusive details about Taylor Swift's wedding.
Yeah.
But we do need to talk about Karmelo Anthony and then updates in that entire case because we talked about it yesterday and this morning. The sentence, 35 years. But before we get into that, I do want to quickly plug a new podcast that's launching here at TMZ tomorrow. Splits.
Ooh,
can you guess what that's about?
Okay, splits. I can either think about someone doing the splits.
Okay.
Or
you know breakups, right?
Breakups.
You don't think of breakups right away, right?
I was thinking that, but that was my second option. But I was first like someone doing the splits.
Well, so it's going to be hosted by Derek Kaufman, our very own lawyer on the Last Days podcast.
Derek.
Katie Hayes. Katie Hayes is a personality here. She's been here for a very long time. She actually has kind of a fan base here at TMZ for whatever reason. People just love Katie, and she's on the show sometimes. She's going to be on this with Derek, and they're going to be talking about Brad and Angelina. They're going to be talking about Kanye West, Kim Kardashian, all of the splits that were the biggest stories of the year.
They need to cover me and my ex.
Oh, wow. Is it better? Is it a better story?
Matter of fact, which one?
I was going to say which one. Which one of the 40?
Oh,
no,
relax.
I'm kidding.
Yes.
Okay, well, tomorrow morning launches.
I'll be tuned in.
Check out Splits on Apple, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts. All right, moving on to Karmelo Anthony. So you saw 35 years is the sentence. Now he's appealing. So he's officially begun the appeals process after being convicted of murdering Austin Metcalf and receiving a 35-year prison sentence. TMZ obtained the court records showing Anthony filed a notice of appeal, and the filing occurred less than 24 hours after sentencing. His lawyer did give a statement, Mike Howard, telling TMZ, after the conclusion of the trial yesterday, we gave the court our official notice that Karmelo Anthony is filing an appeal. We believe there are several important issues for the appellate courts to consider. He emphasized an appeal is the next part of the legal process and a right afforded every American.
Yes, correct. As it should be, yeah.
So, this is typical after such a big sentence on something so high profile. Typically, there will be an appeal filed. Right. But I was a little shocked how quickly it was filed.
How quickly this whole process happened actually is shocking to me.
Less than a week, I think.
The jury was just selected last week at the top of June, and we had a conviction yesterday. So,
right.
Yeah, and yesterday was, the 9th? So everything happened less than a week, actually.
I think the trial officially began on Friday.
Yeah.
Friday morning. And then
so that whole process was a week long. So, it doesn't surprise me that they wanted to hurry up and do the appeals. As I believe he had a, what are the court-appointed lawyers called? What are they called? A public defender. So, people have been raising money for him to get maybe a more established lawyer with a little bit more experience, possibly. I don't know who represented him.
He had a private lawyer.
It was not
a public defender.
It wasn't a public defender.
Fact check that for us, Tony. But I believe it was a private attorney.
Okay.
But you did mention, and we have an update on this as well, the GoFundMe page It raised over $630,000. And this page has been around for a very long time, ever since this actually happened back in April of last year.
Ironically, my birthday of last year.
Oh, April 2nd.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, the day of.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, wow. But now since, and we actually have the direct statement from GoFundMe, or the parent company of GoFundMe. Gosh, I have so many papers.
It wasn't GoFundMe. It was
GoFundMe.
No, it was not.
It was not GoFundMe?
No, it was.
I'm sorry.
Give, Send, Go. That's what.
I thought they were just the parent company of GoFundMe.
I don't know that to be true, but I know that where he was raising money was called Give, Send, Go.
Sorry. Then, but regardless.
Yeah, it's like a GoFundMe.
The fund page was taken down because of the violation of, here it is. We have so many papers up here, guys. So the representatives told TMZ that the fundraiser was originally allowed because everyone is presumed innocent until proven guilty. So you can have a page up like GoFundMe or whatever this was, as long as you're presumed innocent, and then once there's a conviction and it's a violent crime conviction, then they can take it down. And that's exactly what they did.
Branson, we talked a little bit before we just went on air about, we're journalists. And as journalists, it's not a part of our code of ethics to be so opinionated. As journalists, we are supposed to be down that middle, Switzerland. We're not on either side. We just tell the facts. I think with this situation, and, my views are my own, it's sad on both ends, on both sides of this, for the Metcalf family and the Anthony family. Both sides are losing their sons,
Not really.
Very much so.
No, one side lost his son forever, and
the
other side can technically go visit him, and he's up for parole in 17 years, right? So he could be out by the time he's, 34 years old.
Correct, but what prison does to a young boy, because
I agree.
Depending on what path he chooses in this next chapter of his life, very much the mother could say, I lost my son, and I think that going to prison for that long, you pretty much are losing them, because you can talk through a glass wall.
Right. Yeah. I mean, it's an entire. It ruins your life.
But
it ruins your life.
I'm not negating the fact that the Metcalf family definitely lost their son for life, and that's the brutal part of this all and the sad part of this all.
He will be separated, by the way. We found out in general population. He will not be in general population for obvious reasons, but what I don't know, and maybe someone can clarify me this, is that when you're separated for being high profile, I don't know. I've watched so many crime shows in the past, and it seems like they do this, and then they're placed in some version of general population.
Yeah, I think
and then they get stabbed or something bad happens.
It's temporary.
It's temporary. So, I would be terrified if I was him, thinking every day, oh shoot, once I do enter that area, there's people that probably want to harm him. So, I forgot how long the protocol is for this, but he's in isolation.
Yeah.
So that's the update on that. And then his dad, or Austin's dad, gave a statement in court. He was very emotional.
Okay.
He at some point was hitting the podium. He was yelling, telling Karmelo, "Why can't you look at me? You killed my son, and you can't even look at me. You stabbed my son. You can't even look at me." I don't have the direct quote, but obviously very emotional. And I know that the day before, or I don't want to say it incorrectly, but Karmelo's mother also spoke in court saying that they're, losing their son, and that emphasized that he's very sorry for what he did. And yeah, it's very controversial though, this entire case.
The internet is just so divided. And I mean, it's really just a representation of where our country is, if I'm going to be quite honest with you. There's a lot of pictures going across the internet of Kyle Rittenhouse or George Zimmerman, who are very much free and, never even as quick as a week got convicted and put into prison so quickly. So, when you just look at the whole landscape of it all, it's just interesting, the conversations that are being had. And I'm trying not to be so opinionated right now, but it's a sad, sad case.
Well, I always tell people, like, don't just read the online hubbub. Look at the case details.
I did.
Make an opinion for yourself.
I did.
And I mean, look at the details of what exactly happened here. Don't include race in this whatsoever. Like, look at it.
But sometimes you have to.
I get that.
Sometimes you have to.
I know. I totally understand
Yeah.
that. But when it comes down to what the witnesses said, and there's one thing that they all agreed upon, was that he pulled a knife out of his backpack and shoved it into Austin's chest. And there was no indication that Austin was beat down on the ground, being dogpiled, nothing like that. The witnesses, there's a discrepancy between, or a difference between a couple witnesses saying that maybe Austin grabbed his hoodie, and his arm at the same time when he pushed him. But there was definitely, some kind of push. And I believe there's also video that was shown to the jury, but we can't see that video.
We can't, but I read that you see the Austin initially pushing Karmelo out. We don't see the stabbing, but then you see Karmelo running. And that's all you see in the video. I guess maybe it's a little grainy. Okay. It was raining that day.
Got you.
And when I say that, sometimes you got to consider race and things like that. I mean, it's just like, we're not going to play dumb and we're not going to play blind. It's in Texas, it's the South. And me being from the South, I've been called the N-word a dozen times unprovoked. I've never, obviously this is far from a situation I've ever been in, but, I've witnessed unprovoked racism in the free world. So you just have to understand that it definitely happens in our justice system. And like I just said, I wasn't reading just like blah, blah online as far as when I'm bringing up Kyle Rittenhouse or George Zimmerman. These are real cases and that had worldwide media attention. And when you bring up a brother like Trayvon Martin, who had Skittles in his pocket, and he was shot down and killed, and he was not even 15, I don't think, and Kyle Rittenhouse, I don't even have to tell you what he did. And these are people who are free. And I'm not saying that this justifies Karmelo Anthony and his decisions. I'm not saying that at all. But I'm just saying, I think that's where the anger builds up of one side of the internet. It's just like, do you understand our reasoning of like, if we're going to be fair on one way, be fair across the board? Do you understand what I'm saying?
My thing is that, and I did read this, is that we don't know what kind of like relationship maybe, Austin and him had. I
read that they had no relationship.
Exactly.
They didn't even know each other.
What I'm saying is like, that's the thing. Some people say, is there like some like unknowns between those two? Like, was there like mutual friends, like something like beef or like something across the board that maybe people just still don't know about? No one's speaking up about, and like what happened in this tent from when he walks in? Like, why did he go in that tent in the first place? For what reason?
But
I'm not saying that.
But
like,
that's where like the other side is just like.
I'm not saying they should kick him out. I'm just saying like, but why?
Right, and so, but then that's where the other side is like, people think on the Austin side, like, okay, well, why didn't you just go get an adult and say, hey, can you remove him? Why would we go and be the aggressor and push him and get maybe physical with him and things like that? So that, like I'm saying, there's two sides of conversations. Not one is better than the other. Not one is more right than the other. I wouldn't say that at all.
The hard part is that, at the end of the day, I've in high school, I've seen so many fights, and you use your fists in fights. At no point should you grab a knife out of your backpack and shove it in someone's chest. Regardless if someone has their hands on me like this, and based on the witness testimony, like, I just don't understand. Like, why would he do that? Why would he make that decision to grab a knife and shove it in a man's chest and then leave a 2-inch hole? And I looked at the picture of that exact knife online, and it's a thick knife. And like, that takes some serious anger to be able to do something like that.
It's just interesting, your thought process through it all, what I'm hearing you say. And it's just like,
Wait, what's interesting about it?
I'm about to tell you. I think that, the way people are raised, and we can throw race, we can throw culture. Let's say culture rather than race. Culturally, we're completely different, you and I. I'm a Black woman from the South. You're a white man from, I don't know where you're from. California.
Northern California.
Northern California.
Yeah.
So
The Bay.
I'm telling you, we didn't have any of the same experiences. Luckily, we're in the same room. How about that? That's cool. But we didn't grow up the same. We don't share any of the same experiences. We probably don't even have a lot in common. But we probably do, But we probably don't have a lot in common. But sometimes the way I think and analyze something, I might be using my experiences and just what my culture and my family have dealt with, my ancestors. And so I might lead with that when I think, more so than you, because you don't have the same ancestor history I have. You don't have the same culture I have. And you don't have the same experiences I've had. I'm sure you've never been called the N-word unprovoked. And so,
but we don't know if that was. There's no indication that was.
I'm not saying that. I'm just really speaking for Kay right now. And so, we don't know Karmelo Anthony's history. We don't know Austin Metcalf's history. We just know this case. And so, for you saying like it had to probably take a lot of anger and like I guess I hear something different than you might hear even saying a sentence like that, because of just where what I've been taught and what I've grown up in. Like, I don't really walk around fearful for my life like some Black men and Black women might. I don't right now. I've been in situations where I've definitely looked over my shoulder more times than you might. But, like sometimes there's a historical fear in you as a Black person, or culturally as a Black person in the South, than you might as a Hispanic in the West or in the North or something like that. And I see both sides, and I hate that this is now becoming what it is. But it's just like, I hope everyone sees everyone else's side. The point is, we lost someone, which is the worst part of this all. Austin Metcalf lost his life, which he had a whole life to live. And that's sad, and it breaks my heart. But when we get down to the justice system and the legal system, I hope race didn't play a part. And I hope racism wasn't the lead in the jury's decision or the judge's, I don't know if the judge played a part in, the conviction, but you would just hope that everything was fair. And I think people fear like, oh, it's an all white jury. I know there was like maybe some, other races, not all, just all white people, but there's no Black people. And it's just like, we're not saying it in a situation like, oh, Black people have to be everywhere just for it to be equal. But it's just like, I guess there's a level of comfortability and understanding that what we have in our culture and our race that other people might not understand. And there's nothing wrong with that. Education is key, but we're just not there yet as a country. Did any of that make sense?
No, it did. And just to go back to what you said about, the legal process of this, that's basically what the lawyer for Karmelo Anthony said, is that they're going to be exploring potential legal errors. Yeah. And these appeals take a good amount of time. Yeah. So it could be months, it could be years. I looked at the average appeal process for a murder case, and it says 1 to 3 years. Yeah. And like, I think the overturn rate when I last looked was around 10% or so. Yeah. It's not that low. Yeah. We just saw, what's his name? The Murdaugh case get overturned. That's wild. Yeah. And there's so much when it comes to prosecuting and defenses. And I'm not a lawyer. Yeah. I watch a show called Better Call Saul, so I'm just trying to learn it as I go. It's a lawyer show.
We're going
but just
over.
Seeing like all the things that like this is allowed to be used in court. This is not allowed to be used in court. And if you use this in any way, even in the slightest, then the whole conviction doesn't work. It's kind of a wild thing.
Well, we're not dumb to the fact we know there's dirty cops in this world. Black, white, Asian, Hispanic. There's dirty cops everywhere. There's people who lie and steal, who work at a bank and things like that. And people are going to be people, no matter what color you are, no matter what uniform you're wearing. So it wouldn't. In the justice system, it doesn't surprise me that people are going to be people.
Yeah, we'll see what the outcome is of this appeal. I think R. Kelly's still working on his appeal, right?
Oh God.
That's the one appeal I was thinking of.
But
How long has it been?
Hugh Hefner died a free man. It's just crazy how things work. You know what I mean?
It's
crazy how things work.
I know. You die before you see justice. Well, we don't have time to talk about Taylor Swift, but I'll give it to you in one sentence. Taylor Swift's wedding is going to be very expensive, and it's going to be $1 million per night to rent out their Madison Square Garden. $3 million total just for the venue.
I thought we were talking about Taylor Swift going to the game tonight.
Well, we will. We'll get to that. Thursday night, renting it out. Friday night, renting it out, and Saturday night as well. So for setup, wedding, then strike out. It's very expensive. No discount given to Taylor, and she'll be at the game tonight.
No discount, Tay-Tay.
Gosh, she's at the game tonight. We're already at 20 minutes, so we got to go. But some people believe that if the Knicks lose, they're going to blame Taylor Swift.
Oh, God. The Knicks, if you lose, you lose.
But if they win, man, Taylor's going to win the
If they win,
NBA
do they take it all?
base. Not yet.
No. Okay.
I don't understand it that much. So
I just don't know. I don't know who's up right now and how much by.
Right.
Is it 2-2? 2-1. Okay.
Right. All right, well, let's get to the comments really quick here before we head out. Karmelo Anthony, for the entire case. Krista said, "Afternoon TMZ. Nice to see you, Kay. Why wouldn't he appeal?"
He is appealing.
I think she meant like,
oh, why wouldn't he appeal?
Oh,
okay.
Yeah.
Right.
And yeah. Grant said, "Appeal is going to be thrown out." We'll have to see. There was no cameras in the case in the courtroom, so no one was able to actually watch it. We were all just like reading reports about it, so no one could really make a decision.
Yeah.
Not like Johnny and Amber, where we got to see every little thing in the case.
I know. I kind of wish more cameras would be in these cases. I wish the Diddy, I wish there were cameras in the Diddy case.
Well, we had Mark Garagos in there, and he's kind of like a camera of his own. So, so when he comes on Two Angry Men, he kind of like gives us his other side. You know. Is that all the comments we're gonna say today? A lot of arguing, I'm guessing, in the comments today, huh? Yeah. All right.
I want to read them.
Happened yesterday. So, all right, guys. Thank you, Kay. That was a great conversation with you today.
Okay.
And see you back here in the morning.
Bye, y'all.
Bye.